What do you mean tell you? Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Cheers.
Hi.
Yes. So, I don't know about you guys, but it just seems to continue snowing here in New York. I think it just snows every day.
Do you know where Boonton, New Jersey is?
Boonton?
Boonton.
I've heard of it, but I don't know. Is it north?
Anyway, hi, Ed.
Is it north or south? I'm not really sure. But let's see. We've got Ellie, Nathan, Jessica, John, Richie, Steve, Ed, Darren, Andrew, Ray, JJ, Brian, Michael, Dale, Travis.
Richie says I'm fixing my hair.
Did you fix it?
Yeah. Mandee cut it for me.
I think I was going to say, did you guys? No, you haven't seen since I cut your hair, have they?
Probably not.
Yeah. I'm getting
That was the first
better.
time in a while. I don't think I had a haircut for a month.
Yeah, usually you're pretty, awesome.
Casper, Wyoming. Wyoming, that's where Yellowstone is, right?
I think so.
I think.
Well, you just put us on the spot, so
I don't know. But my buddy Jack Ruger was just there snowmobiling, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, Dewey Christopher wants to shout. Should we yell? Does that mean we got to yell his name?
No.
Okay. Dewey Christopher!
You feel better?
Yeah.
Okay. We've got Eric from Quebec, Canada. Darren says he cuts his own hair. Actually, it was funny. I almost thought should have done the video because I brought our clippers to the shop and I also cut Josh's hair too.
Mandy's the new barber.
I've got a traveling barber shop now. So if anyone needs a haircut, don't ask me. I started doing Josh's hair and I caught myself doing exactly how he has his. But oh well.
Bill Murray says, it's the M&M show. Happy Monday from Orangeville, Ontario. Man, I hope they open the border soon. That is the most frustrating thing. Living in North Country and the border closed.
Is it all of Canada or is it just in certain areas where you have to, what is it? You have to, if you cross into the States and you cross back over, you have to stay into this one hotel for 2 weeks. And
you gotta pay $1,000 to stay
the hotel.
there.
It's ridiculous. Is that for the entire country of Canada?
Yeah, give us a little insight on this.
Okay,
sounds
so
a little bit much.
OVO Gaming, how many times are you racing at Fonda this year?
Well, I think they have 17 races scheduled.
We're gonna see what we can come up with.
Okay.
Yeah, we're working on the scheduling this week to finalize everything. So as soon as we know, you will know.
Oh yeah, we'll announce it as soon as it's 100%. Of course, everything schedule-wise changes by the minute because people just keep changing the schedules on us. But we keep working on it and trying to get something together to where we could give you guys a plan of where you could follow us around to. What we do know is we have Georgetown in a couple weeks.
Yep.
On the 12th, 13th or
that
so.
Weekend, yeah.
And then the following weekend there is Sealands Grove and Port Royal.
Yep.
The weekend after that there is Bridgeport with their 100-lapper on a Sunday.
Bridgeport's a Saturday, Sunday.
Yes, Saturday they got the triple 20s qualifiers, and then Sunday they got a 100-lapper.
Oh, so it's kind of like last year.
Yep.
Okay.
And then after that, we finally get into April.
Yeah,
and we got I think Orange County has their opener on the same day as Grandview's opener. So based on weather, we will. I'd love to go to Grandview.
Sorry, I have New Egypt on my schedule.
Oh, you got New Egypt that day?
You don't want to come to?
Oh, 3 races in the same day. Aren't they just awesome?
Imagine that.
I love when they have 3 races on the same day, so you have to miss 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's my favorite thing ever.
You never really hear Mike with sarcasm. That's definitely sarcasm. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Someone said it. They think it is the entire border. $2,000, and I think it's the entire border. That's
wild.
Insane. That's absolutely insane.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, mac and cheese lover. Do you eat mac and cheese with a spoon or a fork?
Depends on what kind of noodles. See, if it's got those noodles that just keep falling out of the spoon, you got to fork them.
What mac and cheese noodles do you use?
The shells. The shells fall off the spoon, so you gotta use a fork for those. But
The
then when
Velveeta shells.
no, you just shells tonight. Mandy just made shells for dinner tonight. They're the big shells, stuffed shells.
But the little shells.
But the little macaroni and cheese shells, you gotta stab them with a fork, because otherwise they just go sliding all over the place. They're so slippery, so you gotta use a fork. But then the noodles, you can use a spoon.
I'm just a spoon, unless it's like the spiral, but I won't eat spiral mac and cheese. I only really like Velveeta, if that helps answer that question.
See, I like the white cheese, like not the yellow cheese.
I know what you're talking about. The cheese, the mac and cheese that's got like rabbit on it.
Yeah, you just weren't acknowledging me because you're like, that's awful. Yeah.
Okay, so Eric asks, how many races do you typically run in a season?
Typically, I don't know if there is a typical. For the last probably 4 or 5 years, we've run anywhere from like 60 to 80 to 100, back to 60. And with COVID, of course, that changes your...
I think we did 60
It lowered your number a lot. Yeah, like 60 was one of our lower numbers.
It still wasn't bad.
So there's a range there between, for us, probably something around 60 to 100.
Hang on, let's go. May 4th. Wait, you said... I'm reading this. Brian says, will you be at Bridgeport on May 4th? Oh, it's on my calendar. Happy anniversary to you and your wife, but it's on my calendar. I don't know what it is, but... Oh, King of the Big Blocks. May 4th.
What day of the week is that?
A
Tuesday?
Yeah, you don't have anything going on.
I'm down for Tuesday. I like Tuesdays.
Yeah, Tuesdays are nice.
If there's a race on a Tuesday, I like that. Because so little thing, like people are like, why would you want to race on Tuesday? Well, I race for a living. So any day of the week that we can race and add an event is a huge deal. It's just another day to go to work.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right?
I don't know. I like, I just like racing any day of the week. But I do usually like to have at least one day a week off.
Especially this year. So there's been years where I haven't been prepared to race a lot. But with COVID last year, we only raced 60 races, like you said. So we have equipment ready to just, like, I'm ready to race every day right now.
Soon enough. I think we've got 18 days, honey. So.
Oh, it's happening.
Yeah. Might be cold, but we'll be there.
It's coming every weekend.
Let's see. What else do we have? People are saying go to Grandview's opener. You have to stab your mac and cheese. You have to scoop your mac and cheese, John. No, you scoop your mac and cheese.
I think you scoop it and stab it. You scoop it and then you stab it at the end. You get a lot more on the fork. Trying to get as much as possible at one time.
You could use a spork.
It's all about, yes, exactly. You can scoop it and stab it. That way you can eat your mac and cheese faster and get back to work. Wow. That's the goal.
No. Okay, so every time we sit down to eat, I literally have to tell Mike
to taste it.
Taste your dinner.
She asked me today. I hadn't even taken one bite, and she goes, "Make sure you taste it."
Yeah, make sure you taste it, please.
And I go, I didn't taste it yet because I didn't even bite into it yet.
He looked at me like mid, and I'm like, please taste it, because I don't know, it gives me anxiety how fast he eats. I mean, I used to eat fast, but I trained myself to eat slower, and I just can't. That's why we don't really share food. Let's see. Oh, so Ray pointed out, thanks, Ray. So open house is, I have it on my calendar, July 25th. It is a Sunday. And as of right now, unfortunately, Mike will not be able to attend. Sorry, honey.
I've never been there before.
Nope. You could have made it last year, but we had to cancel. So, but Mike unfortunately has Weed Sport that day with Dirt Series. But if you're not going to be going there and you want to come hang out with me, you can come to our race shop in New Jersey, it's open to everyone. I wish you'd been. It would be nice if you could go.
It would be fun.
It would be fun. But usually we have all kinds of race cars, memorabilia, old stuff, new stuff. My dad's got a lot of new stuff on display. I mean, it's fun.
You see Mandee standing outside the barn auctioning off body panels.
It's usually what I do. But it is a lot of fun. I mean, we enjoy it because, well, I think Dad enjoys it because that makes us clean the shop. So it's like that.
You know what? That is incredible. So whenever you have company, it's the one time that you actually do like a thorough cleaning. Nobody just randomly thorough cleans.
Are you talking just because I did that on Saturday?
Maybe. Nobody just randomly does that. You have to be thinking, well, the company's coming here. We gotta do this cleanup job. I mean, we had an open house at our shop in King Ferry, and it was the cleanest the shop's ever been.
Exactly. So it's not necessarily random. Oh my god. Okay, I don't know about that, but it's fun. It's great. There'll be a lot more information coming as the time goes on, but hopefully things will lighten up come summertime and more people will be able to come out and feel safe coming out. That's more the reason why we canceled last year, but I'm excited for it. It's fun. But like I was saying, one of the reasons we really do enjoy it is just to give back to the fans, give back to everyone that supports and helps. We usually have food, snacks, activities. I mean, I guarantee you the simulator will be running because Dad built that. But
here's a good question from Riley Martin. Is it possible to make a living as a crew member on a race team? It very is possible. Yeah, it very well is. My crewman Josh Coulter, he makes his living working on all of our equipment. And what I would suggest is if you can come up with a surefire way to make race cars go faster, you can make money on any race team. Yeah. Because that's what we're looking to do. Yeah. Make them go faster. So that'll do it.
So John Doe says, how come you're sitting in the dark? Actually, we aren't in the dark.
Why does it look dark?
Because we have lights going on right here.
So this light's so bright that the other lights don't even look like them.
Yeah, it's focusing on us, so the backdrop is just dark. So you don't know where we are, but we're just home. We're just home. I don't know. You tell me, because I made a set up in the basement, like what we were doing the past few months, but I felt it wasn't, I don't know. I just didn't like the vibe of it. So I thought.
Just mixing it up. That's okay.
Yeah. Do you like this better? Tell me. Let's see. How many GoPros does Mandee have ready to go?
Funny. What, 18?
18. I wish.
It's if you include the broken ones.
No. I'd probably
18,
have 18.
But
broken.
Functional, I feel like you probably have 9.
I don't know if I have that because when we were in Florida, the one GoPro, the 7s started being funky, and I think I want to order one more GoPro. I don't know. I need to do that with the next 18 days.
Stop whispering. They can't hear you.
Obviously, my father does not know that we're live right now.
We should answer the phone and see what he has to say. This could be show worthy.
You never know what
he'll
say
you're
when
live.
you answer. He's gonna say, "Nah, I'm not even gonna repeat what he'd say." We will call him back. Okay, what else? Mac and cheese mahini. Actually, Mike really doesn't like cheese.
I'm not a big cheese person.
No.
It kind of bothers my stomach, in my defense,
Cheese?
Yeah. We had stuffed shells tonight. Gurgle.
It's a very rare time. I haven't made like a real.
They were really good.
Yeah.
Totally worth the stomach ache.
I don't know about that, but I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that. Let's see. Are we tan? Oh, because the lights are we tanning? I've thought about that. I was like, don't tell me that's my father calling you. I've thought about that. They'd be cool to have like tanning lights just in your house to tan you.
To tan you?
Yeah.
Like a tanning bed, but not in a bed?
Mm-hmm. But then you'd have to walk around naked. As my mom would call it, naked.
So that you wouldn't get tan lines?
Yeah. That's the whole purpose of the tanning
All right,
bed.
this show's getting just out of hand. We got to get back on schedule.
Sorry.
Back on track here.
Dewey asked. Dewey, I'll blame it on you. Okay. Would you like to answer some actual racing questions?
Okay. J Wolf S says, Mike, what are some specs for a big block engine? My classmates would like to know, other than how the tech guy inspects them after the feature. Well, the big thing as far as the tech guy goes is all our big blocks have for tech is cubic inch. So they're worrying about they're going to use a tube, and they're going to put it in a spark plug hole, and they're going to spin the motor over, and the tube's going to go up to a number, and then they're going to calculate that based off the temperature of the engine and come up with a number that is your overall cubic inch when after multiplied times 8 cylinders. And it better not be over 467 or you're illegal. So our deal is trying to make it under 467, and then also using a single carburetor with all Holley components. Other than that, I don't think there's a whole lot of rules other than, they added, within the past few years, they added nothing past 18-degree cylinder heads. So your valve angle used to be everybody had 23-degree heads, and they went to 18-degree, and they didn't want us to have to keep buying like the 13-degree and the 11-degree heads. So we're on the 18-degree cylinder heads. The next one here is, what is the actual weight of a racing wheel and rear wheel with and without tire? That is a good question. I have not
rear wheel.
The wheel. So in other words, I mean, it depends on the brand, obviously. So when you're choosing what brand you're going to use, you would weigh them. I would. You're
talking about like your actual steering wheel.
No.
Okay.
No, the tire. The rear tire. The rear wheel that holds the tire. So there's a wheel and a tire.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I read that wrong.
There is a difference between an American racer and a Hoosier weight. Like the American racers are lighter than the Hoosiers, and then they weigh differently after you wear them out too. I mean, you have to calculate.
Yeah, that's true.
At the end of a race, you got to make 2,500 pounds with the driver, right? Well, when the tires wear out, each tire might have 10 pounds of tread worn off it. So you've got to add 40 pounds to make weight with bald tires. So depending on the how abrasive the racetrack is, you kind of have to gamble on that. It's really challenging to calculate weight.
Yeah.
Oftentimes we're 30, 40, 50 pounds, 60 pounds overweight just because there's so many variables with fuel. Yes, mud. We're so far overweight because, man, if we don't get mud and we wear out tires and we use a little extra fuel and there's not as many cautions, or there is a ton of cautions that don't count, you could lose a lot of weight.
Yeah. I mean, I know after a long race, maybe say it's hypothetically, let's say it's a 30 lapper, and for some reason it went like 60 laps, like cautions, including caution laps. You'll see like the winner of the top 5 people trying to find like the closest mud puddle possible.
Absolutely. Because that could add 2 pounds.
Yeah.
And 2 pounds could be the difference.
It could be the make or break. Absolutely. So Steve says we should allow people to call in with a question and be on live.
Call in with a question.
Steve, you're more than welcome to call in if you want.
Well, your dad called. He tried.
Nah,
he didn't answer.
He just didn't know. There's no way he knew. But I do like that. I do like that idea.
Crew guy says, "Have you guys seen Cheeks out yet?"
Yes,
well,
we have.
Matter of fact, Mandy's been feeding him on top of the snow-mounded deck.
I thought he'd be hibernating. Do chipmunks not hibernate? Because But I guess
But when you feed them, they come out for the food.
He's smart. I'm training him.
John Doe, do you like running a spring bar on the rear end, or do you prefer a solid radius rod? Well, there's multiple reasons you would run a spring bar or solid rods. When we were running torsion bars and the rods were 28 inches long, the spring bar helped a lot because it gradually brought the right rear forward, took some rear steer out of the car, and gave you a little more forward drive off the corner. And we didn't have a whole lot of serious U-joint problems. Once we got to the short rods, there's a lot more U-joint wear, and a spring bar can wear out a U-joint in one race. So it's tricky. You don't want to. All right, Steve, call in with your question. Let's hear it. Come on.
Are you going to be the first caller?
Hello?
First time, Steve. Long time.
Welcome to the show.
Long time, first time.
You got it.
Hey, Mike Mahaney, I have a question for you.
Excellent.
I might be lying by saying I watch all the time, so maybe you guys have answered this already. But what is your opinion on Bristol being an invitational race only?
Okay, so my opinion on the invitations is it's unfortunate that they're only going to have a certain amount of drivers when ideally I think they would have an enormous amount of interest, because how often do we get to race on Bristol?
Yep.
However, I'm assuming that there is some sort of state capacity restriction, and what are you going to do? I mean, for a sanctioning body, you kind of have to play favorites to the guys that support you over the past few years before you just let somebody that doesn't come to all your races come to this event, I guess. If you're limited, I really don't know all the details, so it's probably off
the invitational reminds me of Charlotte, because you have to have run a dirt race to be able to qualify to go.
Right.
But I mean, if it's COVID purposes, I can understand, but I'm not a fan of invitational. I think it's, I don't know. I don't just Steve. What are your thoughts, Steve?
I agree. I think if COVID's the reason, that's a good enough reason. But even a little guy, I know there's a bunch of local guys that would probably get a thrill out of running a place like Bristol.
Absolutely. It'd be a tremendous opportunity just to be able to go and drive around the place, right?
Yeah.
So
I don't personally think I've heard safety. Everybody throws the word safety out there, but I don't know. Let's be real. If you're a race car driver, you're not afraid of that stuff.
And safety can't be a factor, because if they tech the cars and the car has all of the safety equipment that is required, then there shouldn't be any problem.
Right.
And I think when you go to Charlotte, they had some races where there was 60 entries.
Yeah.
What are we down to, 45 for Bristol? I don't even know what it is. So maybe an explanation from Dirt would help.
Well, we know some people that wanted to go but didn't get the invite.
Yeah, it would help soothe them. I didn't even know when they announced that they were doing the invites. I assumed that we would go, because we've been
we're racing dirt,
consistently running dirt, and signing up for the platinum agreement, and they only get 18 or 20 people to do that. So obviously feel like you're probably a shoo-in, but I don't know. Until you hear from them.
Well, we got invited.
How do you know? Yeah, we got invited. They actually announced it today on the internet, so that makes it real.
Steve, you coming?
I would absolutely love to go. The one regret I have is never going when they had dirt down there so many years ago. So if opportunity presents itself, I will be there. Maybe I'll be a pit crew with Josh on your car.
Well, you got to let me know right away, because here's the deal. Not only are they limiting how many drivers can race, but our team is limited to 15 pit passes per team. So if you are looking to go, you better get a hold of your race team and tell them that you're interested.
So hey, Steve, you interested?
We'll talk off air. How's that?
Oh, you don't want me to give everyone your information? Okay, Steve. Hey, thanks for being our first caller.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
See you, Steve.
Bye.
That's great. I like that. That was interesting.
Steve Harbat, our professional videographer, photographer,
slash photographer
extraordinaire.
slash everything. Yeah.
Oh.
He's a decent guy. Oh my goodness. I like that though. That wasn't a bad idea. I think we could probably attempt that. There's a way that can be done without me giving everyone my phone number.
Yeah, it's interesting. Dirt does a lot of things that are interesting. So they released that they were going to limit how many entries, but they didn't tell us how many entries, and they didn't tell us who's going.
Yeah.
So it kind of leaves the public in the dark, and we're wondering what's the deal. So we're waiting to hear, who can go, who can't go.
Yeah.
And then in the meanwhile, we're about ready to start the race season, and last weekend they released introduced the new rules. We want to prepare our race cars.
Yep.
And get ready, but they have some new rules that are just coming out. So it's interesting. Like, what you're waiting to see what they're going to tell you, and why are we changing the rules? It's one thing to introduce new rules, but how about an explanation of what they are for?
Good. All right, let's see. No. What kind of speed do you think you can be doing at Bristol?
I don't know, but I'm going to assume it's probably one of the faster tracks we go to.
Yeah, for sure.
The thing it's probably one of the most common questions I ever get asked is, how fast does your race car go? And we don't have speedometers, so I don't have a clue.
The only place I ever seen a
radar gun.
Yeah, radar gun was some guy at Port Royal, and I thought that was cool. So hopefully someone has one there. But hello to Mama Kathy, Old Man Jim, Karen, and Gary.
Oh,
down in Florida.
Hi, Mom and Dad.
Lucky ducks.
Karen and Gary.
Can you bring up the warm weather, please?
Yeah, please do. So guess what?
Ooh,
this is exciting news. My
got?
dad just released me some big info today. That
you didn't tell me?
I didn't tell you till now.
Jesus.
A lot of my, hometown, King Ferry, Genoa, friends, family, etc., are all coming to Bristol to camp. So I'm going to have a huge fan base there. It's going to be great. Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice. Will I get to meet them?
I think you already have.
Oh, okay. That's exciting though. I'm just
sure.
With you. That's cool. I like that. So does that mean I thought
they have camping spots?
It's just Allie, find out where their camping spot is, and we can all camp together. Because Allie's going too. They got their camping spot.
They got a camping spot?
Yeah.
Wow.
We need a camper. Well, we have a toter. Okay. How many cases of beer would one of your Bristol passes cost? It's gotta be good beer.
I'll tell you this: the passes are $90 for a 3-day. So
plus interest and handling.
But here's the thing: we're limited on how many passes. Where nobody's limited on how many cases of beer. So you make the call.
I like that. Okay, so Jay Wolf asks, how long does it take to tear down a big block engine? Reason for asking, my classmate and I did a teardown for a Ford engine in 3 hours.
Yeah, so I can usually get one apart in about an hour and a half to 2 hours. The discrepancy on that is, if you're racing on how fast you can tear down an engine, is how far are you getting it apart? Like, are you just stripping it apart and throwing the parts on the shelf, or are you cleaning the parts and putting them away? And are you putting the pistons in the piston room? And are you disassembling the pistons from the rods? Are you leaving them together? Like, there's a lot of
nitty-gritty,
little small particulars there that would change this. Now they have competitions every year when we go to PRI for like engine assembly.
Oh yeah, we see those
and they do it with no power tools. They use the speed wrenches. That deal is really neat. It's cool for kids to get involved in engine building and things like that, because it's kind of like a dying breed.
Yeah.
Most of our engine builders are getting much older, and they're wondering like, who's going to replace me in this business when I retire.
People just want to not
so
work.
it's really cool to see some young kids getting involved in doing that.
So, Waylon asks, is Billy racing Bristol? I don't think he got invited. It's terrible, isn't it? He didn't get an invite. Someone should complain. I'm just kidding. No,
I'm complaining.
You're complaining?
Somebody invite him.
Yeah. Someone send in a complaint form. And I'm nicely just kidding because I think
He told me the other day that he's got his big block ready for
Charlotte.
I was going to say it. I almost said it, and then I wasn't going to say it because I wasn't sure if he wanted to announce that or not. Guess
Well, you just said
I
it.
stopped. I stopped and I let you do
it.
it. Sorry, boy. Wait a minute.
Well, can we just
Cat's out of the bag.
back? That's why we don't do lives. I'm just kidding. I don't think. Nah, he'll be racing. He's racing points at New Egypt, so he wouldn't be able to go anyways.
Okay, John
And
Doe
he's running
just said
points at
we
Big Diamond.
swapped engines at Syracuse in 35 minutes. Yeah, that is
Swap.
doable. That's an engine swap. The other person was
Sprint cars is like 20
referring
minutes,
to an
if
engine
that.
teardown.
Yes.
That's disassembling the engine, not
Mhm.
taking it out of the car. Totally different thing.
Oh.
But I understand. Yeah, you can do it really fast if you got all of your components set up well in the car for doing an engine swap. Like sprint cars are very well set up for doing engine
Oh, yeah.
swaps. You can do it in 30 minutes
Roll
easy.
the car in the trailer. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mike, you've run USAC Speedsters, but you've never run USAC Silver Crown, correct?
Correct. Never been in a USAC sprint car, midget, or silver crown car.
Billy has at Williams Grove. That was cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, it was cool race. I remember my first memory of USAC Silver Crown was actually at Nazareth. That one track that I feel like I was actually, well, no, I was around for Flemington, but like that one historical track I was actually able to remember a race, and it was Silver Crown at Nazareth. Fun fact, that's all I got for you. Okay, you can't wait for Charlotte David. Whoa, hold your horses, man. Like,
Yeah,
we got to
let's-
get the season started here. Like, don't be wishing us are like 8 months away from now. But I'm glad you're excited.
Yeah.
So many secrets behind the scenes with racing.
That is 100% true. Everything in racing is a secret,
Yes.
and that's because it's a competition.
Mhm.
It's just the way it is.
It's hard. I mean, we want to show you guys everything, but we can't show you everything.
Right.
So,
All right.
yes.
New show just came out on Netflix. It's like all NASCAR racing. It's got Kevin James in it. He's got some comedy, whatever. Mandy didn't think it was very
Don't watch
funny.
it.
I thought there were some funny jokes in it, but it's got to do with racing, so we had to like at least check it out.
Try it.
Right.
I gave an episode.
One of the ongoing jokes in the show that really bothers me is that they keep going, well, we can't show you the race car because we cheat. And it's
I
like,
see what you're saying.
That's
No.
not the
No.
real deal.
Yeah.
It isn't you don't hide the race car because you're cheating. You hide
Some
the race.
people hide it because they're just,
Yeah, they could. But you hide the race car because if somebody with the knowledge of a race car looks at your car and sees,
Mhm.
oh, I could do that and make my car go faster,
Yeah.
they will do it too. And then, so like, you're just trying not to give it away to the
Mhm.
competition.
Like, I'm not just gonna point out you, Dan, and Billy, but like a majority of the race car drivers that actually do the physical work on their cars put a lot of sweat and time into progressing and getting that 1 inch in front of the rest of the field. So for them to just,
It comes from a lot of reading,
it's
a lot of trial and error, a lot of money spent,
Yeah.
a lot of time spent.
Yeah.
So
This isn't
It's
a
just
Wii
one of those
sport.
things.
This is technically a me sport because if I get something, I'm not going to share it with you. I'm not going to share it with you. It's mine. I worked hard for it, and I'm going to kick your butt, and I'm going to cover my race car so you don't find out what the heck it is.
right, and that's the trouble. I mean, it
It's
isn't
reality.
it isn't a one-on-one sport
Hmm.
like all other sports are. You're one team against another.
Yeah.
We're out there one team against 24 teams or
Yeah.
more.
Like we've had, I mean, we're definitely all, for the majority of us, we're all civil. Like we're all friends off the track when we go out to the bar kind of thing. But when it's game time and you got this one crew guy that we're buddies with, but he shouldn't know what we're doing. It's like just stay 6 feet.
Yeah, have a
I can say the 6 feet now.
little common
6
courtesy.
feet. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we're definitely.
So John Doe asked, "What do you think of the NASCAR road courses?" I think they suck. I don't know if I think they suck. I think they definitely keep it interesting. I'm a big fan of road course racing from a driver's standpoint. I don't know if road course racing isn't always the most exciting, like fan-driven sport.
No.
But getting in a car and having to remember the shifts, like which gear you got to be in every corner, and remembering the track and everything, it's so much more challenging to just drive the track and memorize every apex and everything than oval track racing. Now, oval track racing, where they are superior is that we're all making the same 4 corners every lap, and it's how can you possibly make that a little bit better than everyone else each lap to try and be the winner.
Mm-hmm.
Where I feel like there's in road course racing, it's like how many mistakes can you remove?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's kind of like in other sports it'd be turnovers. Can you just reduce the turnovers and then you win?
Yeah.
Where there aren't as many mistakes, like huge mistakes in circle track racing.
Thoughts on Christopher Bell's first career win?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Huge.
Incredible.
To me, huge for dirt racing to have.
For us.
Yeah. Because I like to see a guy that can really drive, be successful in NASCAR. So like if somebody came from midgets or sprint cars or late models or modifieds or whatever, and can drive a dirt car and they get in somehow get in a NASCAR ride, of which most of them are bought nowadays. And Christopher got there with talent.
Yeah.
So he's a talented driver. He got a win. It's awesome.
Yeah. So he's got a big future ahead of him for sure. And for his age. I mean, like you said, that's same reason of Kyle Larson. I mean, just, yes, like Larson. Exactly.
Yep. Larson, same thing. Got there with talent. Didn't need somebody's money to get him there really. Like, obviously everybody needs money to get there. Like you got to have money just to race in the beginning.
But to showcase yourself.
But there's a whole lot of NASCAR's turning into like, well, if you don't have millions, you can't even begin to participate.
Yeah.
Which kind of reduces the talent field.
Mm-hmm. I look at dirt. Don't judge because I don't really know much about sports other than racing. But I look at dirt racing almost like, is it called scouting? Like when big time football leagues come in to like the high school?
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, I don't look at it that way because scouting for what? I mean, I think that you can make a great career in dirt racing. And
yeah, but that's where like they're not going to find some Joe Schmo who's got millions of dollars and all of a sudden like decides that they're going to start racing tomorrow. I'm saying like they're seeing like where the talent is actually at, and they're bringing them up, which is how it should be.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Particularly, that's where they're looking for the next like talented driver.
Mm-hmm.
They're not looking there to see like who has the money to make up for the fact that they lost their sponsor.
Yeah. But anyways, so we can go on and on, but thank you all for joining in. 18 days until our first race of the season. But until then, thank you so much. Hope you're staying safe. Hope you're doing well. And we will be back here next week.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Bye, everyone.